I'm Claudia Kay. This is Claudia Kay behind the scenes. So, I have got to buy a new holder for my phone there. This is a little how am I doing? How did my week go? Today is Sunday. And let me tell you, today I am so much better than yesterday. And there's only one difference in anything that I did. Yesterday when I got up, it was 11 degrees, and today when I got up, it was 40 degrees. That is the only difference. And it's frustrating when you have chronic illness for the thing that is causing you the most pain to be something so completely out of your control. So frustrating. So I did get a lot done this past week because I did 3 sales. This week I've got 4. Did that to myself though. It's okay. Because I really want to get this stuff that I'm clearancing out of here so I can just, it's overwhelming at this point. So I did 3 sales. I was able to go out sourcing yesterday, although I bought, I think, 3 items, and we went 4 or 5 places. 4 places. So that was disappointing. But Saturday's just not the day to go sourcing around here. It's really got to be during the week if you want to find things. So I was able to do that. And yesterday morning, like the difference in today from yesterday is just, it still surprises me. And I've been living with it for 25 years. But like yesterday, I dragged myself up the stairs, hanging onto both banisters, and then just kind of fell into the dining room table chair. And I could not help my mom get breakfast ready. I had to sit there for a few minutes and catch my breath and let the pain calm down before I could get up and make myself a cup of coffee. And mom would have brought me a cup of coffee if I'd asked her to, but it's frustrating that my aging parents have to take care of me so much. So I sat there, I rested, I got up and I got my coffee, and I could not help clear the table or anything yesterday morning. This morning, get up, mom and dad are still getting dressed. I've got the whole table set for, it was a cold breakfast this morning. So I'd pulled out all of the nuts, the seeds, the coconut, I had the almond butter ready to be warmed up. I pulled out, dad drinks almond milk sweetened, mom drinks unsweetened almond milk. I drink unsweetened cashew milk. I had all of those out. I had already let the dog out because the one was still sleeping when he got up. I let him out, fed them their morning treat that they get for going out. I already had their dog food ready to go. I had given them water. Which is good that I have some energy today and less pain. And that's the most important thing. The combination of both. So even if the brain fog is bad, which I won't know until I start to pack an invoice. Because some days the brain fog is just so bad. I feel stupid. Even when the pain levels are lower and I do have more energy. But we'll see. But I was able to, I had to skip last week washing my sheets because I just hurt too bad and I was too weak. So I've already got my sheets in the washer. I don't normally do laundry on Sunday, but I'm like, got a little bit of energy. We got to take this. So it's really good that I have some energy today. Also, last week, I forgot I did some errands. I had a gift card to Target that I'd gotten for Christmas and not been able to get out and spend. And I went into Five Below and TJ Maxx in our city. They're all right there in a row. And I had walked to each of them. Mom and dad had dropped me off and gone over to Sam's Club. And I was able to do that and do a quick run through Goodwill out there. So I did a lot last week in spite of the pain. It never feels like enough because my part of the house that I'm in, which is kind of a mini apartment, is not clean. It is not organized and is frustrating for me. But just being able to leave the house twice last week and get some things done, like that was huge. unfortunately, you guys are never going to believe this. I've not dated in 5.5 years at all. I've not been on dating apps. I have not talked to anybody. I've not, even before 2020, I've not dated in 5.5 years because my last relationship was so many tumultuous ups and downs. And the ups did not make up for it. Like, he did wonderful things, like taking me away for the weekend before my hysterectomy, which I never, ever got away from my kids. I think only 2 times in all the years they were growing up did I ever get away for a weekend. And so he had taken me away for the weekend. And that was just, it was wonderful that he had done that. But then, as I'm laying there recovering from my hysterectomy, which I had to have because I almost bled to death. I'd never been so sick in all my life. I finally broke down and went to the doctor because I felt like I was dying, and turns out I was. My blood count was so low that once they got the results in, she made me come back to the office immediately for a retest. She was going to send me over for a transfusion. It was bad. But as I'm laying there recovering, and mind you, you're supposed to be off 6 weeks. I went back to work in 4 weeks because we couldn't afford for me to be off. I was a single mom, had zero help, was not getting child support, and my ex-boyfriend never, ever, ever paid a bill for me. This was not that kind of relationship. He had his own place. I had my own place. Occasionally, we'd go out to dinner and he paid for it. He did pay for the weekend away. Sometimes, we'd do appetizers and a drink at one place, then we'd go someplace else and get dinner. And sometimes he maybe once let me pay for the appetizer and the drink. He was very old-fashioned about a man should pay for the date kind of thing. But as far as paying a bill, putting gas in my car, we did not do that. It was not that kind of relationship. So I'm laying there recovering after my hysterectomy, which is very hard for me to lay still anyway. And he had the nerve to say, well, I just don't think your symptoms were as serious as you said they were. I almost died. The doctor when they called me back into the office, was scared I wasn't going to make it that day. And as I'm laying here recovering from surgery, major surgery, where they have removed parts of my internal organs, you're going to tell me that you think I was exaggerating my symptoms? And I broke up with them immediately. And that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But there were a lot of things leading up to that. He would do this thing. Now, mind you, when you have chronic illness, you don't sleep well anyway, and you've got to get some sleep to even function the next day. He would do this thing where he'd get mad about something during the day, not tell me. I wouldn't even have a clue. He'd go home and apparently stew about it. And then at 2:00 in the morning, he'd start blowing up my phone. Now, I slept with my ringer off, but he would call and text so many times that the light from my phone going off would wake me up. And now to this day, I sleep with my phone face down with the ringer off. Even though there's no one else in my life who's ever going to call me after 10:00 at night. Ever. Because they know I'm chronically ill. They know I need my sleep. And so eventually I would answer thinking something was wrong and he needed me. And then he'd just scream at me. 2:00 in the morning, 3:00 in the morning. It was crazy making behavior. And so eventually, but that's why I haven't dated again. Because number one, I don't want to be treated like that. And I don't have the energy to put into a relationship to find out a month down the road someone's going to act like that. And number two, honestly, I don't think it's fair for me to date someone right now, as sick as I am. I'm no fun. I mean, dating me, you would have to be doing all of the work physically. You would have to come over here and you would have to hang out with me. And like, I can't even watch a movie through because I've got to get up and move around because I hurt. Like, and I don't have the energy to, because somebody else who had chronic illness would be more understanding, but I don't have the energy to put into them when they're chronically ill. So, but I'm not lonely. I have wonderful friends on here. You guys are supportive and uplifting, and my best friends are actually my mom, who I live with, and my daughter, who I FaceTime with multiple times a day, and my niece, who, you know, she's the one I went out sourcing with, and I see my other nieces all the time. My sister, one of my sisters lives up the road. My sister that lives further away was here yesterday for a visit. She's got a new puppy. It's so cute. So, you know, even though I don't get to leave the house a lot, I'm not lonely. I'm alone, but I'm not lonely. And that's always a very important distinction, because during my marriage, that's the loneliest I've ever felt in my life. And I know some of you can probably relate to that. So I'm not lonely. Don't have any desire to date right now. Don't think it's fair to date someone. Also don't have the energy to put into it. But all of that said, when I went to Target, which is the first time I've been to Target, I don't know, it's probably the second time I've been in Target since 2020. Like, I really don't leave the house. If I do, it's to source. So it's Goodwill. It's a stop at the post office. It's a stop at the thrift store, maybe the antique store. Like, I do not go. I couldn't even tell you last time I was in a Walmart. I don't go out. Thank goodness for the internet, because I can order most of what I need online. But I'm in Target, and I had a lot of time to slowly walk around at my pace while leaning on the cart, because Mom and Dad were over at Sam's Club, so that's going to take them 2 hours, right? My ex-boyfriend was in there. 5.5 years since we split up. Only been at Target twice since 2020, and the one time that I go out, there's my ex-boyfriend. So it did trigger some of these awful memories. I'm just trying to remember the good things that we did together instead of the bad stuff. But anyway, how am I feeling? I'm feeling better than yesterday, than pretty much all week. I feel better than all week. I feel like a human barometer, because my pain levels go up and down with the barometric pressure changes, which is, it's stupid. It's stupid. But that's how I'm doing. So I've got a lot to do today. I've got packing and invoicing. I've got to pull all stuff for all 4 of my sales on my other channel. So yeah, I'm going to get on it while I've got the energy, because sometimes I feel this well, and then I do a few things and then the energy goes, just kidding, but I already showered and that didn't suck up all of my energy, so go me. Yeah, I think that's all. I hope that you guys are doing well. I hope you're surviving winter. We got through January, and February is a short month. So we're going to get up in the 50s here in Ohio and have thunderstorms this week. So yay. All right, you guys. So today, not feeling too bad, and hope you all are doing well. And you love my just showered hair. It's gonna be a hat day if I've got to film anything else for my other channel, that's for sure. All right, you guys, I hope that you have a good day. I hope you have a good week. I hope that it is productive, and if your productive is being rested, then that's, you accomplished what you needed to accomplish this week. Do not forget that resting is productive if your body needs to rest. Bye, guys.